Good morning. Welcome to the Wall Street Weekly Wrap-Up, December 30th, 2023, and it's the end of the year. And I'm your host, John Newquist. And what a year we had. We'll cover the results of the year, cover what's happening in our best of sectors. We're going to review every stock that we have, and let's take a look at it because we had some interesting performances. Well, you can't beat tech. Holy smokes. I put it up here because at the beginning of the year, we had Meta, and it is up 193%. NVDA up 245%. This is stocks that you dream of. These are stuff that when you get these kind of runs, you're going to beat the average and stuff. And the thing is, a lot of the stocks ran at the beginning of the year, and then we went flat. So, for a lot of people, you're sitting there looking at that's months, sitting there, nothing in there, and that's the issue. Is it overpriced? A little bit, but the earnings are going to be good. Remember, we went with ARM because they make the CPU for the Grace Hopper chip. We went with Meta because they're growing good, and X or Twitter is going down. Google is the #1 search engine, but a strong AI player. Who makes the AI chips? Taiwan Semiconductor is the best. Samsung makes some. Other companies make some. And then Microsoft, of course, owning a large chunk of OpenAI. This is hard to believe. This is almost $3 trillion. And of course, NVIDIA makes the fastest AI chips. And one I didn't add in here was Intel. I don't know why I didn't add Intel in there. So my numbers will not be totally correct. I have to remember to add Intel. But that's okay. It's a minor thing. Healthcare been beaten up. I mean, you take a look at your top stocks in the area. The two big exceptions is Lilly, which is at $500 million market cap. It's too rich for the drug, which when you get off of it, a lot of people gain the weight back. Novo Nordisk, which makes Ozempic, up 5%. People went on the train. It's a positive upward channel, but for a lot of people, they want it to go like NVIDIA. Give it time. No competition other than Lilly's drug right now. And there's a lot of hope in Lilly, but I think Novo Nordisk, when they open up the Ireland plant, is going to flood the supply, lower the prices, and still make a ton of money. We kept Merck. Ideally we would have another area, but Merck's got a good pipeline. It's a typical boring drug company, but we like it. And again, with indicators, crude oil in 70s. I predict a scenario where we could have a ramp up in China and oil could get back over 95. So, this is an area that's a little tricky. May not happen. Everybody's predicting the recession. Maybe it slows down May to June. Natural gas, as we predicted, would drop from 3 something to 2 something. And as they make a lot of oil, they get a lot of natural gas. So it's a byproduct of it. Gold, amazing. Just look at this chart. I mean, holy smokes. You're with us at the beginning of the year. You bought gold, and now we're up. Now we're in record territory. How high will it go? You can make a case for $2,400. And then silver, $24 an ounce. I don't think we're going to get 30, but everybody's watching. And copper, I'd like to get 4. That tells me the industries are going up. And then the NASDAQ, everybody wanted to be on the NASDAQ. We'll talk the QQQ chart later on at the last slide. S&P, this is a great year. This is 3 years worth of gains. Remember, the goal is 8% a year, and we gained 32%. And if I'd add Intel's performance, I know we'd probably be a little slightly higher. But that's a pretty good chart. I mean, you think about it, 32%. You have essentially 4 years of gains in the stock market this year. 4 years. If you're figuring 8% on average on your return in the S&P. We want to beat the S&P. Remember, you can go jump the NASDAQ. You can make it everything NASDAQ. If you want to take our portfolio and just say, okay, I'm going to pick all the NASDAQ ones, you got a lot of risk. And, the question is, Russell 2000, remember, this was 0, and it's gone up. S&P, 9 straight weeks. 9 straight weeks up. So, if you look at the laggers, I'm going to bet the Russell 2000 is going to be high next year. I'm looking actually for a small cap investment fund because I don't want to have to try to pick the winners in a small cap world. But consumer discretionary, another sector, been very tough. And we go in there. We had a lot of ups and downs, but look at Kohl's. Holy smokes. I knew it when I saw Sephora get #1 place. The teenage kids go to shop for cosmetics. Not Ultra, not, all these other stores. It was Sephora at Kohl's, and that's a big deal. And, a lot of people, it was packed this year. So, going to go up more? Why not? We're in an uptrend. We broke out. This is what you always like in a chart. We got a triangle or a wedge, and we break out of it. That means it's going to be a lot of new buyers, and we can do real well. We've sold out all the sellers and people who are not with it. Walmart, I think it's still the best retailer overall, But we got Amazon because Amazon's doing a lot of things with AI. They're doing robotic picking in the warehouses, so is Walmart. So they're going to drive down these costs eventually. And we stick with Under Armour because it's like Nike, but it's the little brother of Nike, and I think it'll go up overall. We've bought Under Armour in the 8s, and it goes up over 20 on a cyclical basis. Energy's another dead spot. Holy smokes, you're down about an average of 10%. But remember, part of the portfolio balance is to have 2 in each sector. And even though the sector is getting hammered, try to buy the best 2 in the sector. And Conoco and Exxon are my best bets. Some people are trying to time it, and I says, you just can't do that. Some of these gains are like 10% move in 2 days, and that's the year's worth of gains. And if you weren't in those markets those 2 days, you didn't make anything. So, we're going to be in the market. It winces it, but look at this trend, Conoco trend. And I just use it for oil. It's up. That's what you want to see. We're in a channel upwards. And that's why I said I could make a case if this continues, we're going to be at $95 oil. And it doesn't look like that now, but who's to say what it's going to be like in the spring and the summer? Material stocks, we were out of it. So we missed the beating in that area. Why? Because it was just brutal. I mean, you normally would stay in it, but geez, everything was getting beat up. So we just got out early and just watch it go down. And, you sit there and you think, wow, look at this. You're up over here, the 200-day moving average, and you're down over here. That's a brutal drop. So we picked gold stock, copper stock is Freeport-McMoRan, one of the top in both sectors. Again, another nice breakout. Breaks the negative trend, and that's what we want in a stock. Lyondell, good dividend. They, very good on making, petroleum-related products. And then our REITs, of course, all went down, But look, here's some bright side. Double bottoming away, and people bought into the REITs. WPC, Carey, is getting out of the commercial sector, which is good because you don't want to be holding the commercial buildings, which are hard to rent, as it looks like, work from home a few days a week means we don't need as big of an office. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to see cubicle sharing, where I might share a cubicle with another person. You can cut the footprint in half. This is something, I've been through with different companies I've worked for. It won't be as bad as like you get a table and, that's it. But you're talking that these things are going to be property management. Now, some people are saying, oh, we can convert them to apartments. No, it's not that easy. It's a lot of work, a lot of money, millions of dollars to convert an office building to an apartment. So, I mean, unless the apartment rent is so crazy, you're probably not going to see that. And then financials, we're in it. Both the financials did good. I think these are the 2 best of all the financial stocks. If you buy a local regional bank, remember we went through the SVB bank collapse, and could have been scary for the sector. Again, JP Morgan, depend when you bought. If you bought up here, you probably have heartburn when you get down over here. But it's solid, rise up. This is scary because this is like a 45-degree incline. I'd like a little bit more. I'd rather see it kind of come like from here to here at a 30-degree slope instead of a 45. So I expect a pullback on JP Morgan. Honestly, probably 150-ish. We might sit flat for 6-7 months, but it is the best bank. It's the biggest bank, and we want in it. Industrials, I call Tesla an industrial stock because they make cars. Everybody, want to call it a tech company. You can do whatever you want because if you put it in industrials, it blows everybody up. Again, Tesla, $124. You're up 200%. That's an amazing run. A lot of companies, went in and bought in the tech sector, but Tesla's got problems. Elon, if he would just get off that Twitter stuff, he'd be a different animal. But that's not him. He wants to do it. He thinks it's important, so we go through. Lockheed Martin, you know, the defense budget's passed. They're going to get a good chunk of it. They're going to make missiles and you know, HIMARS for Ukraine. It's a stock we want to be in. Doesn't have the problems of Raytheon with all these engine issues. And the utilities, NextEra, profitable. It gets beat up. I mean, look at this drop. You know, they didn't like their earnings, so they just tanked it, and then it's slowly coming back. You know, utilities, a lot of them are not profitable. I mean, I go through a lot, you know, dozens of utilities, and negative earning growth. I want some revenue in addition to the dividend. I want some revenue growth. So SWX and NextEra, that's our stocks we're going with. And then I put the other category. You know, the Chinese trust down 9%, which makes sense because it's in there as far as China is slow. China's having a lot of problems. You know, the real estate bubble, the unemployment of the youth, the economy's not moving, a lot of debt, you know. And, you know, that's why I said I don't think they're going to be starting a war soon because they're not in a position to really do it. If everybody starts, you know, banning stuff from China, who are they going to sell to? Russia? Iran? No. BTBT are Bit Digital. Remember, they mine Bitcoin. Not a lot, you know, 100 a quarter, but it's enough plus what they hold to do well, and it's our Bitcoin play. Remember, when you buy Bitcoin, you got to pay a percentage of the value to sell the, you know, the stupid thing. And, you know, it's not like it's $1 or $2. It could be huge if you're selling some. So stocks you can get in and out. I like this stock. TKO, which is WWE and Ultimate Fighting, you know, down 20%. You know, like I said, the transaction comes up there. You know, I put it in the other category because you know, it's more like an entertainment company, and I don't like the, you know, calling it consumer, you know, products and stuff. But pretty good overall. And then again, like I said, the QQQ's pretty high, pretty rich. So we had a good year. Let's enjoy our success. Let's hope we have a good year for 2024. Thank you very much. We'll see you next year.